Canada now seeing influenza epidemic as flu cases continue to climb, PHAC.
We are having more diseases create illness. We'll never know if these were around before but not being reported, but there's definitely more diseases out there that are threats to different aspects of society in the US and globally.
Canada is entering an influenza epidemic as cases of the flu rise further beyond the seasonal threshold, the Public Health Agency of Canada, PHAC, reported Monday. The latest weekly percentage of positive influenza cases rose from 6.3% in last week's report to 11.7%, more than double the seasonal threshold of 5%. The amount of flu cases being reported indicates the start of an influenza epidemic at the national level. Nine regions across Ontario, New Brunswick, Alberta and Saskatchewan reported localized influenza activity during the most recent reporting week of October 30th to November 5th. Those provinces along with Quebec, Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island also reported sporadic activity across 22 regions. The new report came on the same day that Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health strongly recommended residents wear masks indoors to protect against what he called a triple threat of influenza, COVID-19 respiratory syncytial virus, RSV.
That is a disease that previously was in epidemic form or in widespread form in some fashion, became latent for a while through contact, through secretions and touching your eyes and getting it into a mucosal service, from breathing it in, from just being around it and getting into your system in some way, some breach, some open cut, etc. And the same way it spreads from animals to humans.
The 2022 to 2023 flu season is looking like it may be the worst one in years in the US.
It does seem right now like everyone's sick with something.
I'm scared about what's going to happen this flu season because I don't think we've ever seen a coalition of multiple viruses kind of manifesting in this way before.
Experts hypothesize that COVID precautions led to much lower rates of flu-like illnesses compared to before the pandemic. But now that many Americans have abandoned preventative COVID measures, more people than before COVID are getting sick.
British Columbia, Manitoba and Nunavut did not report data to PHAC. The BC Centre for Disease Control's latest respiratory epidemiology report noted influenza cases are also on the rise there, but did not give specific numbers.
One of those flu-like illnesses is the opposite of COVID in that young children are most at risk.
RSV is respiratory syncytial virus. So it is a respiratory virus that especially causes lower respiratory tract infection and pneumonia.
Both my girls ended up getting RSV in late September, and I was really shocked because that's extremely early for you to see RSV in the season. It's usually something that shows up later. It is an illness that primarily impacts children, although this year, ironically, we were seeing it in adults, which we never did before.
British Columbia, Manitoba and Nunavut did not report data to PHAC. The BC Centre for Disease Control's latest respiratory epidemiology report noted influenza cases are also on the rise there, but did not give specific numbers. The new report came on the same day that Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health strongly recommended residents wear masks indoors to protect against what he called a triple threat of influenza, COVID-19 respiratory syncytial virus, RSV.
There's also the notion, and I don't know if it applies to 2020, but this notion of globalization and just kind of travel and being able to be in lots of different places and everyone able to be in lots of different places, having an impact on infection transmission patterns. And I think that's kind of what's happened with monkeypox.
The new report came on the same day that Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health strongly recommended residents wear masks indoors to protect against what he called a triple threat of influenza, COVID-19 respiratory syncytial virus, RSV.
Trauma, and it's been hard to navigate our way through it. I think that maybe we just have to have no expectations because you can't really predict infections. Monkeypox has seemed to go down, but Will it stay down or not? I don't know.
Meanwhile, in the United States, an early spike in influenza cases has pushed hospitalization rates to the highest mark in a decade for this time of year, U.S. health officials said early this month. Public health experts have urged people to get their flu shot and to also ensure they get the latest bivalent COVID-19 vaccine booster to stay protected amid the colder months. In Canada each year, the flu causes an estimated 12,200 hospital stays, according to the federal government. It is also among the 10 leading causes of death in the country, taking the lives of approximately 3,500 people each year. The latest PHAC report said so far this year, less than 5 influenza-associated deaths have been reported.